Okay, continuing on from 5.2 Reflections Part 1, this is 5.2 Reflections Part 2. So we're on the third sample question where we're dealing with a diagonal line of symmetry going through the origin 0, 0. From the previous video, you should have recorded this triangle, so we left off at counting the spaces diagonally from point B on the line of symmetry. So if we know that point B on this side is at 4, 1. Again, we're going to count it diagonally. So it's best to maybe turn your page and see how many diagonal spots away from the line of symmetry it is on this side. We can see here that it's 1.5 spaces away from the line of symmetry on this side. So it has to be a half and 1 space or 1 box away from the line of symmetry, again looking at it from a diagonal. So B prime actually ends up at 1, 5. Okay. Or sorry, that's not 1, 5, that is 1, 4. 1, 4.
Okay, so again, we know that B prime is at 1, 4. We look at C. Again, C, looking at it from a diagonal, is just 1 spot away from the line of symmetry on this side, so it has to be 1 spot away from the line of symmetry on the other side. C prime ends up at 2, 4. So take your straight edge and connect the 3 dots on the image side. Again, don't forget to label it prime. So we have the triangle that ends up like that. Now, you can see too, it's a mirror image. It kind of like opens up like a book, the triangles on either side. There is a really unique pattern to do with the line of symmetry that's diagonal, again going through the origin 0, 0, so it actually cuts every square in half on the diagonal. Look at the pattern between the coordinates of A and A prime. Look at the pattern between B and B prime. And then finally look at what's happening between C and C prime. If you notice, and this only happens when the line of symmetry is diagonal and it cuts through the origin at 0, 0, the x and y coordinates are actually reversed. So knowing this shortcut actually saves you from counting up the diagonals and the spaces from the line of symmetry on either side. So let's just summarize what you learned here about reflections. Okay, so I'm just going to have a section here called notes. Okay, and I'm going to refer back to all the notes that we did. Okay, so first point. Number 1, when the line of symmetry is vertical, and remember that was our example in the first one up here, which set of values stayed the same? It would have been the y values. The y values stay the same, and the x values change. But we'll just jot down the y values stay the same. Okay? In example number 2, we had the line of symmetry being horizontal. So when the line of symmetry is horizontal, as in the second example up here, we found out that the x values stayed the same. Finally, in example number 3, remember we just did that, the line of symmetry was diagonal through the origin. When the line of symmetry is diagonal through the origin 0, 0, the x and y coordinates reverse. or the x and y values reverse. Okay, so make sure you've jotted that all down.